Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on round decimals using a number line. I like this Khan Academy because a lot of students struggle with the rules for rounding, and a number line kind of helps with the visual sense of it. Let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully this will be clear as we get into it. Answer 2 questions about the number 3.944 below. And the way you would say that is you would say 3 and, you would say and for the decimal. And then you just read this number like it's a number in front of a decimal, 944, and then place value is thousandths. So that's how you would read that number. Let me say it one more time for you. That's 3 and 944 thousandths. Okay, so you'll notice here on the number line, we only go to the hundredths place. Okay, so we have to figure out where 9.44 is on this number line. So let's take a look here. Is it going to be here? Okay, so look at A. A is somewhere between 3.90 and 3.91. Okay, 3.944. So 3.90, is that close to that one? No, definitely not. It's not close to it. So we need a number between, think about what numbers are between 3.944, and we're going to get to that as we move up. Let's move to the next one. We have 3.94, but it's not quite there. So if it's not quite to 3.94, we need to understand where that is. 3.93, and maybe it's like 7, okay? Because it's not quite to 3.94. It didn't arrive at that 4, but it's getting closer to it. So what does that mean for us? It means this can't be our right answer either. It's got to be above 3.944 because it's bigger than 3.94. So C is going to be our choice. So let's look at why C is correct, so we can understand how this is happening. Anytime you have a decimal, that means it's between two other numbers. So in this case, it's going to be between 3.94 and 3.95. 3.95 is bigger than this. And a way to think about it, let's ignore the 3 for a second. You're basically saying, okay, we have 950 and 940. The number we actually have is 944. So it has to be between these two numbers. Okay, now let's just put that decimal in front. You can see how this plays out. We have 3.95, 3.94. C is between that, so C is our answer. Now, the second part is, this is why this Khan Academy can be difficult, but it's very important and it's a good way to understand decimals, gets to the understanding, is what is 3.944 rounded to the nearest hundredth? Well, you just answered that question, or you should. What is it rounded to the nearest hundredth? Well, where is C in relation to these two numbers? These are the hundredths, right? 3.95 is rounded to the nearest hundredth. 3.94 is a hundredth place. So which one is it closer to? Is it closer to that one, or is it closer to this one? Okay, which of these two lines is it closer to? If just looking at it visually, I can tell it's closer to 3.94. But let's understand why. 3.944. First, we understand if we're rounding to the tenths place, where is the tenths? The tenths is there, that 4 right there. Next, we need to understand that when we round, we look at the number to the right. If it's 5 and above, we round up. Okay, so in this case, it would be 3.95. And if it's 4 and below, that means we round down or round off. Okay, and we just leave it alone. In this case, it is closer to 3.944. This is a 4, which means we round off. Get that off, leave it alone. 4 and below, let it go. And this is going to be our closest rounded, shortened answer, 3.94 rounded to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to go over here. I type in 3.94, except I didn't write the 9. And there we go. Let's do 3 more of these. Okay, so answer 2 questions about point A on the number line below. So point A, you can see that where you're rounding to the thousandths here. Okay, so that's the thousandths place, and we have A right there. Okay, you can see it's almost touching this 6.338. What is A rounded to the nearest thousandth? Okay, so again, this actual number, let me erase it because I kind of drew on the line. There we go. This actual number is probably like 6.338, we'll call it 5. Okay, it's so close to this one, but it's in between these two thousandths. actually it's probably closer to like 9. Okay, so this is the actual number. It probably goes to the 10,000s. It does go to the 10,000s. Okay, so which one is it closer? These are the thousandths places. Which thousandths is it closer to? It's closest to this one, 6.338. 6.338. Okay, so that's our first question. Which of those lines is it closest to? And then what's it rounded to the nearest hundredth? So my students always struggle with this question. I do this Khan Academy every year, and they're always like, well, how do I find out what the hundredths are? Well, the hundredths for this section, for this type of problem in Khan Academy, is the easiest way to think of it is you're going to look for the top and the bottom part. So 6.34, that 0 doesn't really have an impact, and then 6.33. That is the hundredths place, okay? And these are all the thousandths in between. Again, if you're confused, it's like, well, think of it as 340 and think of it as 330. Your number is 338 and then probably point something, 0.5. I keep saying 0.5. It's probably closer to 0.9. So which one of these hundredths is it closest to? The 340, again, there's hundredths and there's hundredths expressed this way. Is it closer to 340 or 330? Obviously, the 340, right? It's almost to it. It's a short distance there. It's a long distance there. 6.34 is the answer. Let's just understand it with the rules too. 6.34. Okay, so with the rules, if we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, here's our number, 6.338. We look at the number to the right of the hundredths, that 5 and above, give it a shove. We're going to change that number to a 4 because it goes up. 6.34 is our answer. Okay, now I think those are the only two types of questions we're going to have here. So we're going to look for this number. It's written, I'm almost out of battery, that's okay. This is written to the 10,000ths, but I only need to answer to the hundredths, right? So which number is it closest to? Well, it's a 6.2, okay? And it's slightly above it. It's almost to 6.3 because that 8 is telling us we're almost to the 3. So we can't be below the 2, and we certainly can't be above 6.8. That doesn't make any sense. So we're almost to the 3. B is our answer. And then what's it rounded to the nearest hundredth? Well, we can look at the graph here. The graph is written in hundredths, okay, 2 numbers after the decimal, written in the hundredths. What's it closest to? It's closest to 0.63. Let's look at it this way too. The number in the hundredths place is a 2, but the next number is an 8. That's 5 and above. We give it a shove, 0.63. That's what it's going to be. 0.63. Check it. Last question. Okay, so here we have it in ones. This one's actually a good one to end on. Nice and easy. We can see it's almost to 29 just by looking at it here. So maybe it's like 28.8. Okay, probably. What is A rounded to the nearest whole number? Well, it's almost to 29. We can look at it. It's almost to the 29. It's closer to the 29, further from the 28. So 29 is our answer. Okay, and then what's it rounded to the nearest 10? Again, if you're like, what is he talking? Where are the 10s? The 10s are going to be the ones ending in 0. So there's the 10, there's the 10. Which 10 is it closer to? Clearly the 30. Okay, it's a far distance all the way down to the 20. It's very close to the 30. So 30 is the nearest 10. Now, if you were like, whoa, I thought the 10s were after the decimal, that is the tenths. The tenths, okay? The tens place is the next number after the ones place. So that's the ones place, that's the tens place, and you have hundreds, thousands, etc. Okay? So it's almost to the 30. It's the nearest 10 when rounding. And that's all there is to this Khan Academy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or you want to request a video of your own, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.